so often, the Sports Hangover touches on mature topics. Discretion is
Welcome to the
advised.
Sports Hangover Super Bowl Prop Bet Edition. I'm Jeremy, that's Mike, and we're here in person. I can touch you. This is
I know. And do you like this jersey, Jeremy? This is from your order from China, where you got the jerseys.
I like it. Nice Super Bowl patch there. I'm
Thank
rocking
you.
my hometown team who doesn't play in many Super Bowls.
That's because I lost the bet.
So we're doing a lot of prop bets today. We're going to be breaking down the Broncos and the Seahawks. And
Yep.
behind us, you may be able to see it straight back, perfectly framed with our camera.
Of course.
We're running a real-life Madden simulation of the Broncos-Seahawks Super Bowl game in East Rutherford. By the end of this, we're going to have a winner.
Genius idea, Jeremy.
Thank you.
It was a really good idea.
So if our predictions don't work out here, that one on the screen is sure to work out. So we have 25 prop bets. You want to start running through?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so we have 25. We're going to go through them pretty quickly. We pre-selected these, so we didn't have to do it live on the air.
Can we tell the people where this printout came from, and then they can print out themselves?
This is from sportsinteraction.com. This is like a Super Bowl party prop list game, so you can win a little money during the Super Bowl.
So you can do this with your friends during the Super Bowl, or if you want to get really crazy, go on Bet Online or some other website and put some actual money in.
Yeah, offshore accounts. I don't know. I
Offshore.
don't know anything about that. All right,
Thinking
number
about
one, length of the national anthem. It's this year. It's an opera singer. I checked last year's, and it was way under this number.
Yeah. But last year was who? That was a real life singer.
Christina Aguilera or
That was
somebody?
like 2 years ago. It was a real life singer last year. This woman is a baritone. She's going to be belting one word at a time.
All right, so I'm guessing you have over.
I went over.
I went under on this one.
And it's 140 seconds, which is like 2 minutes, 20 seconds.
It's a
That's
long
lot.
time. It's a long time.
That's a lot. So you went under.
I went under on that one.
I like it.
These are easy ones. This is like the beginning of the game, so we'll exactly know.
And it's good because it keeps you into it from the very beginning at 6 o'clock all the way to the end at 10 o'clock.
Yes. Coin toss results. Heads or tails. I checked on the stats on this. I
did
think you
too.
laughed. You did.
I did too.
Heads for the last 5 years. I'm saying 6 years in a row.
Now, I checked on different stats in the
Where do you?
last...
Oh my God.
There's been 47 Super Bowls played. This must be
Yes.
Super Bowl 48 if that makes sense. There's been 24 heads and 23 tails. I am symmetrical. I'm going tails.
Wow, that's a
even
good one.
though-
See, I looked at the most recent because it's almost like roulette to me.
Yeah, whatever's hot.
Whatever's hot.
Play the hot one.
You play the hot hand.
All right, so we have two differences in two.
I like
this.
that. Coin toss winner.
I went with Seattle.
I went with Denver.
I hope they're all different.
The
all
reason
25.
I went with Denver was that I'm hoping they kick to Seattle. Seattle scores the first points of the game.
That's what you're expecting.
Yes.
So you think Seattle's going to score on their first drive?
Well,
we
I
have
have-
some more questions coming.
I have some other. Well, this is a little. I went real quick on this, but I have some prop bets where Seattle has to score first.
Okay, so that's important to you.
Game winner against the spread.
So the spread 2.5 points. Denver is the favorite here.
Yes.
I went with your boys. I went with Seattle.
I went Seattle too.
All right, so
Alrighty.
Seattle plus 2.5. That doesn't mean they're going to win the game. We are going to have our predictions at the very end of the show.
I'm gonna mark these as the same for that one.
Sure. So what we have going, we have this simulation going on. We're going to have a final score here. Right now we are nearing the end of the first quarter,
Yep.
0-0. Scoreless, a little nervous coming out. And we are going to have our final predictions at the end of this show.
Okay, game total over 47.5.
Or under
Or under.
47. I went under. I think the guys will be a little tight coming out.
I went under too.
Yeah. It seems like big games, teams don't score as many points right off the bat. A little more
Yeah.
nervous energy.
47, 20, yeah, okay. I don't think my total number calculated up to
I
that.
hope-
First offensive play of the game, run or pass?
I went with pass.
I went with run.
I think the Seahawks get the ball first. I think they switch up a little bit. You're thinking Marshawn Lynch and little Russ throws a pass.
See, I'm thinking they want to feel it out. You're nervous, you want to get those jitters out of the way. Just a nice little handoff. Feel it out.
I like that.
You don't want to just go out there throwing.
Maybe little Russ
It's a
does.
Super Bowl. You're on a big stage.
Now, weather is looking good. Can we just talk about the weather for a second?
Do you have the updated weather forecast?
Yeah, we're looking at like 40 degrees at kickoff.
No, it's going to be that warm?
It's going to be warm. The high keeps dropping up. The high is like 43 or 45 for the day. So
Okay.
kickoff, we're looking at 40 degrees. Very little wind. Probably no precipitation. So Peyton Manning, definitely a fan of Mother Nature on
I'm
this
going to
one.
look it up in a minute.
Okay.
Will there be a score in the first 6 minutes and 59 seconds?
I said no to continue my theme that they're going to be a little bit tight coming out.
I also said no.
But you also said that Seattle's going to score on their first possession.
Well, they're going to score. Their first scoring play of the game will be a touchdown from Jermaine Kearse.
Oh, to Jermaine Kearse.
Yes. He will score the first
He's the one who caught that 4th and 7 ball in the NFC game.
Team to score first. See, on this one, I said Denver. But
Okay.
where I put money on it was Seattle.
So you're just hedging your bets.
Yeah.
Okay. I also said Denver. I think Peyton Manning does get in the end zone first. I'm not sure he gets in there last.
Jersey number of the score. Jersey number of the first touchdown score. Odd or even? I went even here.
As did I.
Okay.
Marshawn Lynch is number 24, and Eric Decker is number 84.
That's what I was thinking too.
All right.
Decker, all right. And Demaryius Thomas,
is
88.
Oh, for sure. That's an easy
too
one.
easy.
Bet hard on that.
First accepted penalty will be against Seattle or Denver. I went Seattle.
As did I.
Jesus,
That's a physical team. You know, Richard Sherman's going to be a little contact heavy early, and I think he'll get a penalty call.
A score in the final 2 minutes of the first half. Yes or no?
I said yes. I think Peyton Manning gets it done.
I also said yes.
I think Peyton will get the ball with 2 or 3 minutes left and get in there at the end.
Well, yeah, I also think you're coming. Ooh, something's happening in the game.
Oh, we have a field goal.
Field goal by Denver.
Denver's on the
All
board.
right. Well, if that's any indication, bet field goal as the first scoring play
Matt
of the
Prater,
game.
the first scorer of the game.
Okay. Will a team score 3 consecutive times, not including PATs? I said yes. I said
Wow.
the only reasoning of this is somebody's going to get hot and somebody's going to keep going and score a lot and then stop. They're going to figure out what's going on with them.
Wow.
It's going to be uneven at first and then slowly going to
I
creep
mean,
back.
3 straight scores is a lot, and that's including field goals and touchdowns. I just don't see that happening. I think it's a back and forth game, and that's why I went with no there. And I hope it's a back and forth game. I don't want to see a blowout one side or the other.
Peyton Manning passing yards over 290 and a half or under?
I said under. I don't think Peyton is a big-time player in the playoffs. And
I said over on this one.
Wow.
Only because I think he's going to throw a few bombs, and that might push him over that 290 limit.
Okay. I mean, 290 is a lot of yards against Seattle. I think we can say that, right?
We'll see. Russell Wilson passing yards. I went under on this. Under 199 and a half. Russell Wilson never throws that much.
Isn't that amazing that his over-under is 90 yards less than Peyton Manning's? That's pretty crazy for a Super Bowl game. I also went under.
Okay.
I don't think he throws for over 200 yards. I don't see that happening.
Okay.
Can we update the folks on halftime? We are Seattle 7, Denver 6 is our update. So Seattle got in the end zone. Denver added a field goal. Now 7-6 Seattle as we start the second half. It should be perfect timing
I like it.
for where we're at in this show here.
All right. Next is total rushing yards for Marshawn Lynch over 88 and a half or under. I went over here. I think Marshawn Lynch tears him up a little.
So you're saying over 89 yards for Lynch. I went under. I think the Broncos know if they stop Lynch, they have a great chance to win the game. That's where their focus is going to be.
Also, a really good prop bet that is not on this list that I put money on is total rushing yards for the Seattle Seahawks. I went 110 to 121. I think 121 or 111 to 120.
Oh, wow.
Total
Just
rushing
that
yards.
little window.
That little window.
Okay.
Really good odds on it. I'm thinking Russell Wilson gets a few rushing yards here.
I agree with that. I think Russell Wilson can have 30 to 50 rushing yards easy. I think Percy Harvin will also have rushing yards. It may be even more.
See, I didn't factor that in.
120.
Yeah, I might have to
the
go a
X
little
factor.
bit.
Percy's
Yeah.
back.
Total receiving yards for Demaryius Thomas over 75 and a half or under. I went over on this one. I think throw a few bombs.
I think it's interesting you went over because you're wearing a Richard Sherman jersey. I think the matchup for most of the game is going to be, there it is, Sherman against Demaryius Thomas. I think Sherman will get the best of him for the most part. I think Thomas will have 50 to 60 yards. I don't think he has over 76. So I went under there. I think Eric Decker has over 100 yards in this game.
Wow,
against Seattle.
you and Eric Decker, you really like his third leg there.
Wow, that's a little bit of a stretch. What I like about him is his fantasy value when I get him the 7th round
Okay,
every
yeah,
year.
yes, of course.
And of course, he always makes me money.
Length of the longest successful field goal in yards over 44 and a half or under 44 and a half. I went over. And what did you do?
I went over too. These are both,
you went over?
I went over as well.
Oh, I didn't know.
These are both good kickers in the
Over 44 and a half.
How would you know? Yeah, how would
Oh.
you know? I went over 44 and a half because these are both good kickers in the game. Steven Hauschka for Seattle, Matt Prater for Denver, two of the best kickers in the NFL. I think someone kicks a long one, and the weather conditions will be okay.
Now, I also did a prop bet on this.
Okay.
On Steven Hauschka. I don't know if I mentioned this before. Steven Hauschka winning the MVP. The scenario is no touchdown scored. Hauschka kicks 5 to 6 field goals, wins the MVP of the game. Obviously, kicks over 44 yards to get a field goal for them and win the game.
Has a kicker ever won the MVP in the Super Bowl?
I don't know. Look it up,
That's not
but
happened. Gotta be long odds, maybe 100 to 1 or so.
Odds were good on it, so
Yeah.
if you're looking for a crazy bet, I would take
Sure.
that one. Team with the longest successful field goal. Obviously, I went with Seattle because how's just going to win MVP?
And you're wrong about that because UCF has a kicker in this game. On the Denver Broncos, Matt Prater, one of UCF's finest. He has one of the biggest legs in the NFL. He's going to kick a long one, and it's going to be for the Denver
He only has
Broncos.
the biggest leg because he's mile high and can get that extra.
He had a big leg at UCF, and that's pretty close to sea level.
Length of the longest touchdown in yards, over 46.5 or under 46.5. I went under on this one.
You're saying no play of 46 yards or more to get in the end zone.
No, that's half the field. I do not think somebody will run or throw for 46.
I think it could be a Demarius Thomas or Decker bomb. I think it could be a Percy Harvin run. I think it could be like a kick return, right? It can be a kick return or punt return as well from like 50 yards out. Did you factor that in?
I didn't factor that.
So I did go.
You're
I
a
did go
smarty.
over there. I think one of the big plays in the Super Bowl will be like a 50-plus yard touchdown.
Team with the longest touchdown? Yes.
Yeah.
Team with the longest touchdown, I said Seattle. Because I'm guessing maybe, like you said, Percy Harvin could do something.
He could be the X factor in this game. I
Marshawn
don't know
Lynch.
Denver. Just the big time plays that Demarius Thomas and Eric Decker can make. Those are the guys I'm looking at there for Denver.
Total QB sacks, over 4.5 or under 4.5. I went under 4.5 here.
I agree with you. I think Peyton Manning doesn't get touched much. I think Little Russ is running around a lot, so he
Little
doesn't
Russ.
get sacked much at either.
This game's exciting.
We're in the third quarter. Seattle's driving. There goes
Oh.
Little Russ now, shaking and
few
baking.
yards. I like it. Russell Hustle.
Very nice.
Total number of turnovers, over 2.5 or under 2.5. I went over 2.5 here because I also have another prop bet on Richard Sherman to make the Super Bowl, break the Super Bowl record for interceptions, which is currently, I guess, at 3. So he needs 4 interceptions in the game.
That's a lot to ask for from Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is known as a choker in the playoffs. I don't think he's going to choke quite that much to throw
Okay.
4 picks to the same guy, especially. I went under 2.5 here because I don't think. I think the weather conditions are going to be good. I don't think there's going to be as many bad plays. I don't
Okay.
think Peyton is going to turn many over. I don't think the Seahawks will either.
Number of challenges initiated by coach, over 1.5, under 1.5. I went under here. I don't think they're going to have that many challenges.
I think the Super Bowl is going to have good referees. They're not going to want to make mistakes. There won't be many opportunities to challenge. Also under.
You also went under there. Okay.
I did. All right, this is where it gets a little crazy. Any shirtless Red Hot Chili Peppers during the halftime show?
I said yes. I think those guys like to have their shirts off. They have good bodies, obviously. They're old men. They like
Yeah.
to show what they got. Definitely, that's like their
Even in 40 degrees.
that's like their thing though. It's like Kiss always has the makeup
Sure.
and like those
Sure.
weird like nipple, things like that.
Nipple clamps?
Not nipple clamps. I was watching the hockey.
Please tell us what you were watching.
But I don't know. But their nipples are out. They're like wearing those shirts. I think Red Hot Chili Peppers, no shirts on.
I think not only is it going to be cold weather for them to not take their shirts off, after the Janet Jackson nipple, I don't think the NFL wants any more nipples, male or female nipples, on the halftime show. I said no.
Color of Gatorade bath, white clear or any other color. You have to go any other color here because there's no
Can
way.
we talk about what color it's going to be? Because it's not going to be white clear. So let's just say right now it's going to be a color. Let's give the people some advice for the props.
I'm going to say it's going to be orange.
Okay, I'll say blue.
I feel like orange is a very safe. Now, can I take orange yellow? Because
No, you can take one color, orange or yellow.
I prefer yellow Gatorade, but I feel like orange is much more.
I feel like the orange would be for the Broncos if they win.
So
'Cause their
Seahawks are going
jerseys
to take
will be
like what,
orange.
purple?
No, blue, green, not black.
All right, total score in the game. This is if we tie all
This
these
is-
props.
This is our official prediction. The Seahawks have scored a touchdown, folks, in the third quarter. It is now 14-6 Seattle as we enter the fourth quarter.
Total score, I'm going with Seattle 31 over Denver 24 for Denver.
That's a lot of points for Seattle.
That's with one defensive touchdown.
I think it has to be with a defensive touchdown. Richard Sherman pick 6 or something like that. I like that. I like Seattle as a winner as well. I'll go Seattle 24, Denver 20.
I like it.
I think it's a close game. I think it's back and forth. I think the Seahawks are the better team in the end, and Peyton Manning doesn't get to crown his legacy. How about an MVP pick, just to top it up?
MVP.
Not Steven Hauschka, right?
I mean, Steven Hauschka if you want a long bet, but it's definitely going to be somebody on the Seahawks. And I'm going to go with Russell Wilson. Could be a game manager. Could be a game changer.
Wow.
Could run a few touchdowns in. I go Russell Wilson.
I like that. I think, so you said he's going to be under 200 passing yards.
Under 200.
But he's probably going to run for a touchdown if he
might.
wins this.
One,
He got
two,
some rushing
maybe 30.
yards. Maybe 30, 40 rushing yards.
Maybe.
I like it.
Hopefully.
I like it. My MVP is an X factor. My boy Percy Harvin. He has not made an impact all season long. Like, he got hurt in the playoff game against New Orleans when he was trying to make a big impact. I think he's had big plays, make a difference.
Whoa, I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
Manning
exactly.
just threw a bomb to Demarius.
No. Sherman
A
got beat.
bomb.
Your boy?
I know.
Wow.
So you're going Percy, I'm going Russell.
Yeah.
We're on the Seahawks on this game.
Neither one of us take the Broncos. Now, we are running the simulation back here, as you know. So the Broncos just take it up. Let's take a look at this.
Whoa.
You can see wide
That's
open
a
across
bomb.
the middle. What is Sherman doing?
So
He was beat
we're
bad.
simulating the game. Right now I will put up the scores for you guys at the final
Look
of
at
this.
that. Look at that final score.
Look at the final score.
I'm not surprised. That's all I had to say. I'm not surprised.
All right. We will be doing a recap show of the Super Bowl. We'll be back Monday or Tuesday.
Mike, it's nice to see you in person.
Yeah, we're in person. He'll still be here. So we'll do another live show.
Yeah, join us after the Super Bowl. You can tweet us at TSH Podcast. Send us your good prop bets. Send us if you think we are right or wrong. We'll be recapping all of it next week.
All right. If we don't get molested or arrested or abused, we'll be back next week.
Please.
Yes.
Oh, Welker touched.